What's up, everybody in TV land? It's your boy back again. Man, this episode is a headache. I done the doggone food, man. I done the damn food. See this old sorry cheap air filter? Well, they done went up. I remember back in the day, they used to be like $1 for like 3 of them. Had to buy a barbecue breast. I'm from Mississippi, so I say breast. How I just playing my daddy from Mississippi. He the one say breast. Got me saying breast. I had to buy this stuff too, man. Said Texas talk, man, hold up. DJ Screw invented that phrase, y'all. In case y'all don't know. This right here ran me about $20-something, man. It better work too. And about to sign the kind and the cane, man. See, check it out. This better work too. I'm gonna be mad. It's like $8 a can. All right, everybody in TV land, we back to what I was talking about earlier. So up in this attic, man, it's hot up here, man. It's about 140 degrees, man. I'm up here sweating so bad, you think I'm underwater doing this, man. But check this out right here, watch this. See, this the unit right here, the air handler. So you gotta go to the back side, and you gotta cut out an opening. All right, you gotta cut out an opening. See, that's the plenum, that's the return plenum right there. Coming down through the wall where your air filter go in and come up. See all this dust, all this debris. And right here, see what I've been scraping with a brush? But look how dirty it is, it can't breathe. When you don't see these fins, it can't breathe, it can't pull, and it can't do nothing but freeze up. And all this happens when you don't have no air filter down there. It's all kinds of hair and everything, man. Everything in your house is circulating. Gets sucked up and pulled up in here. Look at this. This is disgusting, man. If I wasn't so lazy, I'd just replace this whole box. But I'm lazy, like everybody else out there. You know what I'm talking about? So I gotta guess what I had to buy the barbecue brush. Brush that off, and I got my dustpan to catch it. You don't want that stuff falling down in the drain, clogging up the drain pipe. Then you gotta climb back up here and get that little air nozzle gun and blow through to clear your primary, secondary drain. So you want to catch it with the dustpan. I bought the foam. That's what my bucket for, to wrench everything. So I'm gonna try to brush it off with this. Then this my little spray bottle right here. Got that sucker mixed up, ready to go. And this the cleaner. You're gonna need a knife, toothbrush, brush. Man, you need all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna shoot this foam on it. I'm gonna see this crud work. It say spray and let it sit for about 5 minutes. It said you don't have to wrench off the AC evaporator coil. Something about it do it itself. But you know, a lot of times they'll tell you anything to sell a product. When this thing look like this, you better believe your AC unit outside of your lines, they gonna freeze up. This sucker will freeze up. It was so bad, you turn it on within 10 minutes, it done froze up. 10 minutes, the whole thing, from the inside to the outside. Alright, so check it out. We about 15 minutes, I guess, into cleaning this stuff, man. This water bottle. I found it helpful to cut the neck off a water bottle instead of trying to put it all on the dustpan, put it all in the bucket, man. Get your little water bottle. And then, look at all that crap in there, man. That's everything. Skin, hair, man, styrofoam. Any and everything. So anyways, I've been using a little nasty toothbrush And I found that it works pretty good. Cause when you raking, you kind of like raking it out. You're not trying to push it through the fin. See, that's pretty much. It was like that, remember? Now it's like that. That's the bottom part. I gotta do the top part, but I just wanted to show y'all about 15 minutes of that stuff. And so you gotta have some kind of cleaner to dissolve that stuff, because you see some of the fins is silver, and where it's black, that's just that stuff that's stuck in between there. So we're gonna have to wrench it out with that spray bottle. But you're gonna need something, man. I'm sitting up here thinking it probably would have been easier to just turn it off for about 2 or 3 days and then wait till it dried. It might peel off of there. But I don't know if it's stuck, you know, if it'll be stuck all up in the vents. It won't peel off. I have no idea. But I hear in Texas, man, you can't really survive 2 or 3 days without no AC, man. But this is what it look like, man. So I'm finna keep cleaning this rascal. Hang tight, fellers. All right, look at that. It's about 35 minutes later. And so I noticed that when you're using the little brush, little toothbrush, you gotta kind of like brush it out, not pack it down, because if you brush it wrong, you're gonna pack that stuff down in between the fins. So man, it's tedious work, man. It's not easy, but I'm finna spray it again, then I'm gonna brush it again, then I'm gonna flush it with my little spray, cause man, that stuff breaks down and goes in between, you know. It's not just you brush it, cause it don't really come off right. When it come off, it go in between the fins. So you gotta have some kind of dissolver. But the instructions on the can said, just spray it, you know, let it sit and walk off. But you gotta brush that stuff out of there. Ain't no other way. It ain't gonna come off. Like the hair and the dirt and the skin and all that other stuff, you gotta get it out of there. So you gotta brush it some kind of way, you know? So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. Whatever it's for, I don't know if it lifts the dirt out or dissolve it. I don't know, man. But I know you gotta brush it, that's all I can tell you. You know what I'm talking about? All right, everybody. I done cleaned and sprayed and brushed it and cleaned and sprayed. Best I can, man. So she should work pretty damn good by this time. You know? Can't get all of it unless you got all the free time in the world, but they ain't got it. It's a lot better than it was, if y'all can remember. I'm coming back. Yup. Now we gotta close the box back up and tape it up. All right, got it all taped up, man. You gotta make sure you got your damp rag and a dry rag to wipe all that dust off your box so your tape can stick. Otherwise, it ain't gonna stick. You gotta clean it. We got it all taped up and sealed. Now we got to move around yonder way. Put that back on there. Then we're gonna turn it on and be done. Like a pancake, we'll be done. All right, so about to do this fan belt on my 240D. But anyways, man, it was a lot of different things I ran into and a lot of stuff that made sense that I ended up understanding doing that evaporator coil last night, cleaning it. Remember when I cut the plenum box open and you seen all that dust and everything in there? Well, at the end of the day, you have to, well, you don't have to do nothing, but it's a good idea to take a shop vac with the little brush on the end of it and vacuum all that dust and dirt off it. Because if you don't, what's gonna happen is once you turn the unit on, it's gonna pull all that dust and debris back into the underside of the evaporator coil. So that's what I ended up doing. I forgot to film. I was too tired to film it at the end of the day, but I did it anyways. Something else too is that get you another little water bottle, or you can put some water in your bucket. It don't matter. And clean your toothbrush off too in between, because when you brushing that debris off of that coil, you know you want to kind of put it at an angle and brush it off. You don't want to push it down into the coil, so you kind of like raking it. You're not really brushing it. You just, you know, pretty much raking it off of the coil, you know. And it's a lot of stuff, man. I'm trying to remember everything so I can tell you. But oh yeah, you gotta rinse it. You gotta range it, man. Once you the coil cleaner, it does work, but you gotta range it, man. I don't care what the instructions say. I ended up using about 2 gallons of water in that little spray bottle I was telling y'all about to rinse it off. Because when you rinse it off, you'll start seeing the dirt coming out in between the fins that you actually brushed and pushed in there a little bit when you was cleaning it out. So rinsing is a must, and don't stop rinsing it until you know it's really rinsed. But you know, I know some people that say rinse. So anyways, back to rinsing. You don't want to stop rinsing it until you get that water that's coming out of the clear, because it's still gonna be pulling out some of that debris and that muck, and you will see it falling into your little dustpan or onto the bottom side of it. So, you know, man, make sure you do that. But in the long run, now I realize the difference in buying a cheap filter versus buying a more costly filter. I'm just cheap all the way around. The thing is those filters that cost $10, $15, $20, they collect more of those fine particles and pull them on the underside of your evaporator coil, which means at some point the filters, the debris gonna go through your filter and, you know, cause it to clog up. Now on my unit, I noticed that it's supposed to be a filter on the bottom side of the evaporator coil, but how they installed it in the attic, some kind of way they cut some corners, and it's a roof brace that's in the way, and so they didn't even put it in there because you can't take it out to replace it, which is crazy. They should just put it in a whole different direction, but they didn't. So I can't even put one in there to prevent the evaporator coil from clogging up with the debris when you're too sorry to put a filter in place, you know. But anyway, replace your filter on time. Buy a more expensive one. Don't be cheap, because the cheap one's gonna allow dirt and debris to go in and come out the other side and clog up your evaporator coil. It's gonna cause your AC lines to freeze up, and it's not gonna blow as efficient, and it's gonna work a lot harder and cause something else to mess up in the long run. You'll get a lot of mold and black stuff up in your on your blower wheel by your blower motor. I noticed that too, so I had to clean all that stuff off too. And you won't run into the problem that I ran into. You know, sometimes you can be cheap, sometimes you can't be cheap. But in this situation, it's best to just pay a little more for your filters. Always make sure you have one in there. Don't procrastinate, and keep that system running as clean as possible. It's gonna save you in the long run. So, you know, I kind of overwork myself being ignorant. You know, like I say, stop being ignorant, stop procrastinating, and handle your business, man. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Spend a little now, and then you save a whole lot in the long run. Because most AC technicians would have told you your AC coil, your evaporator coil was shot. You got to get a new one. TXV valve was messed up. It didn't say anything. When all it was just a dirt and debris just done turning the skin on the underside of the evaporator coil. Peace out.